What if everything you've been told is sacred, is actually just a habit? Pause for a moment and think. The moment you're born, you're given an identity, a language, a culture, and often a belief system. But is that belief truly your choice or just something you inherited? Hinduism, one of the oldest living belief systems in the world. It goes back thousands of years. Deep, complex, rich, but also filled with aspects that deserve to be questioned. Because something being old doesn't automatically make it true. This isn't about judging Hinduism, it's about understanding it and questioning it. When people hear Hinduism, they often think of colorful festivals, mystical rituals, and countless gods, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, a vast number of divine figures. But here's the first critical question. Can there really be this many gods? Or is this a reflection of the human mind trying to make sense of complexity? Looking at human history, creating myths to explain the unknown is very common. Thunder was caused by gods, rain was sent by gods. Could Hinduism be one of the most advanced and long-lasting examples of this tendency? Another core issue, the caste system. One of the most controversial aspects of Hindu social structure. People are assigned a class at birth, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, and those outside the system, often called untouchables. Now stop and think again. Does a person really deserve to spend their entire life in a lower class just because of the family they were born into? For centuries, this system has prevented millions from accessing basic rights like education and healthcare. What's even more striking is that it has often been justified as a divine order. But we have to ask, how can an unjust system be considered sacred? One of the most well-known concepts in Hinduism is karma. According to karma, every action has a consequence. Do good and you're rewarded. Do bad and you're punished. At first glance, it seems fair. But when you look deeper, a problem appears. If someone is born into poverty because of actions in a past life, doesn't that justify present-day inequality? If a child is born into suffering, is that really their fault? In some cases, the idea of karma can lead to indifference toward others' suffering, because the belief that someone deserves their situation can weaken empathy. Another concept, reincarnation. In Hinduism, the soul doesn't die, it moves from one body to another, an endless cycle, birth, death, and rebirth. For many, this is comforting. Death isn't the end, just a transition. But again, an important question. Is there any concrete evidence that this cycle is real? Or is it a belief created to cope with the fear of death? The human mind doesn't like uncertainty. When faced with something inevitable yet unknown, like death, it creates narratives. Could reincarnation be one of those narratives? Hindu sacred texts, the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, they contain deep philosophical insights, yes, but they were also written across different periods, shaped by different authors. So this raises another question. Are these texts truly divine, or are they products of human thought? Throughout history, many societies have created their own sacred texts. Each one feels consistent within itself. Each one claims truth. But can all of them be true at the same time? Another striking point, Hinduism has no single founder. For some, this is a strength. It makes the system flexible, open to change. But if a belief system has no clear beginning, how solid is its foundation? And maybe the most important question of all, why do humans believe? To feel secure, to find meaning, to cope with the fear of death, to bring order to life. Hinduism provides answers to these needs, but does that prove those answers are true or simply necessary? Now let's return to the beginning. The belief you were given at birth, is it really your choice? If you had been born in a different place, you might believe in something completely different. That alone reveals something important. Belief is often not a choice, but an inheritance. The purpose of this text is not to attack Hinduism, but to remind you that no belief system is beyond questioning. Because truth does not fear questions. So maybe the real question is, what do you believe and why? Do you truly know the answer, or are you simply repeating what you were taught? And finally, if one day all beliefs disappeared, no books, no traditions, no teachings, Would humanity recreate the same beliefs again? Or would something entirely different emerge? That question might be the most important of all.